Question: could UFOs be flying around the Mid-South? Well, one woman claims she spotted one in North Mississippi and has the video now to prove it. Here it is. WMC Action News 5's Lauren Squires takes a closer look at the video, all new at 6.
Most of northern Mississippi saw snow falling from the sky Wednesday, but early Thursday morning, Angela Ashton saw something else.
I was laying in my bed, and I have a huge window that goes across the whole wall of my bedroom, and I saw a bright, blinding light. I mean, it was huge.
She told WMC Action News 5 via phone Thursday that the light was in fact a UFO, or unidentified object in the sky. It was flying over a field on Craft Road in Lewisburg, Mississippi.
Once I got out there, the bright light, it wasn't doing the bright blinding light anymore. It was just kind of hovering, and the lights were pulsating.
This is the video captured from her home. She says the weather conditions didn't allow her to investigate further. In the video, the UFO looks to be the size of a drone, but she says not so fast. She says it's at least the size of a football field.
It looked like something from a movie. It was a 3D object just hovering.
We showed the video to drone expert Robert Estes, and he says it's likely not a drone because many of them don't have lights like you see in this video. However, he says it could just be a plane in the sky. Ashton, a certified paranormal investigator with Cryptic Shadows Paranormal Research, says this object is anything but normal.
It was triangular shaped. It appeared to release smaller objects, but it was kind of hard to tell if that's what it was doing or if additional lights were pulsating around it. I would say that it's definitely extraterrestrial. I don't know what else it could be.
In Olive Branch, Lauren Squires, WMC Action News 5.
This is so cool. I sure hope somebody else is getting this video a little bit closer to me.
A lot of people in northern Utah are waking up this morning wondering what they saw falling from the sky late last night.
A little before 11, we started getting reports about a fireball in the sky. So check out this video. Patrick Wiggins, a NASA Solar System ambassador to Utah, says there's a good chance what people saw was a booster rocket from a Chinese satellite, not visitors from Mars.
Sure. I think this is a cover-up here. I think this is a NASA cover-up because it looks like a UFO with that ring shape like that.
Does to me, too.
Well, when it comes to UFO sightings, the North Okanagan seems to be a hotspot. The latest example comes to us tonight from Lumby, where mysterious lights captured on a cell phone camera are raising some questions. Megan Turcato has more.
It might sound like something out of the X-Files, but this is real life.
I would call it a UFO, oh sure.
A North Okanagan woman says she saw an unidentified flying object from her home in Lumby.
And then you get that feeling in your stomach when you see something that's strange, and you know it, you got to tell somebody.
Debbie Gelter says she saw a light or lights on 3 different evenings recently. On the 3rd occasion, she reports seeing 2 lights.
They were together, spaced out a bit, but they were together, and they were in one spot. Again, back in the same spot as the first sighting.
She called her son to take a video on his phone.
It started moving slowly and it shot backwards. I don't know what else to say. It was just the weirdest thing I ever saw.
We asked an amateur astronomer for his take. Jim Fales says the video doesn't show enough to be conclusive.
Pretty much all I can say by looking at the video is that the flashing is not like you would see from a twinkling star or a planet shining in the sky. So it rules out those natural objects. It doesn't rule out human-made objects, even the sort of human-made objects that might be created to perpetrate a hoax.
It's not the first time a North Okanagan resident has shot a video appearing to show something unusual in the sky. This video filmed by a Vernon man in 2008. In 2005, this was captured by the manager of Kiefer Lake Resort.
So there's definitely something out there. There's, you know, unusual things are happening all over the place.
Delta are hoping to find out if anyone else witnessed the lights or had a similar sighting. Megan Turcato, Global News, Lumbee.
It sounds like the weather will be good for some UFO watching around Sudbury. What do you know about that?
That's right, Michelle. I mean, UFOs have been a hot topic here for decades. And I can tell you one man in Sudbury has the pictures to prove it.
But it came down out of the sky like on an angle like this real quickly. And I just caught it out of the corner of my eye.
Ken Klingbeil is talking about what he believes is an unidentified flying object in Sudbury's sky. One of his 60 sightings in the last 2 years alone, several caught on camera right from his balcony.
I got a few friends that think I make it on the computer, and I'm not that good of a computer technology thing there. I'm lucky I can get onto Facebook and stuff like that. I'm not that good.
Here's a sample. The video, shot in October, is slowed down significantly. You can see two bright objects, one zipping quickly past the other in the evening sky. Over 100,000 people have viewed it online, still not proof enough for some.
There's still people who just refuse to believe there's anything.
Michel Deschamps has dedicated over 40 years to studying UFOs and claims to have the largest data collection north of the border. He admits at first he was hesitant to believe Klingbeil's claims.
After I met him, I would look at his pictures and videos, and it's really hard for him, for instance, to describe exactly what his eyes saw through the camera lens as what you get as a result of picture or video.
But after getting to know Klingbeil and looking over the footage, he believes many of these are more than just mundane sightings.
There's something going on, and it's not man-made. It's not LED lights, because I would think that at the distance that he's photographing these, the lights would have to be extremely large and extremely bright to make out the vivid green, the vivid blues, the vivid pinks or purples.
Deschamps is not surprised at the level of activity in Sudbury. In fact, he says Northern Ontario has been a hot spot for decades.
The mine sites, and of course if you look around and we have such an enormous amounts of lakes and wilderness, and there's a lot of pristine areas that could be prime areas for where they want to take samples, for instance.
Deschamps has had 27 sightings since 1974. He and Klingbeil are not alone.
A lot of the first primary witnesses in Sudbury were police officers and a nursing staff at Pioneer Manor. So we can't all be crazy.
Here another one comes. Very, very fucking strange. Let's see. No noise.
After decades of theories about UFOs, the CIA has finally come clean about them. It says the agency itself was responsible for more than half of all sightings in the late 50s and most of the 60s, would you believe?
So just what was flying high in the sky all those years ago?
What's that? My God.
That's a UFO.
It's one of the greatest mysteries of science. Are we truly alone in the universe? By definition, a UFO is an unidentified flying object, but the term has become synonymous with aliens, abductions, and encounters that seem to defy any rational explanation. In the 50s, in a small town in outback Oregon in America, a farmer and his wife were to make history.
I looked up and saw this thing in the sky. Well, it was bronze on the top and silver on the bottom. I would say right around the size of a big parachute.
Evelyn Trent saw it and her husband Paul photographed it. The pictures captured headlines around the world. This week the CIA took to Twitter to claim some responsibility. In a tweet announcing its most popular stories of the year, they say reports of unusual activity in the skies in the 50s, it was us. The report shows the CIA secretly flew its famous U-2 spy plane at altitudes of more than 18,000 metres above countries like the Soviet Union for many years. Since no one believed manned flight was possible at such heights, many who spotted the planes believed they were seeing UFOs. The spy agency did nothing at the time to make people think otherwise.
Isn't that fascinating? So are all UFOs that easily explained? Doug Moffat is a UFO investigator. He joins us now. Doug, UFOs, basically spy planes.
Well, that covers a very, very small part of the pie. I mean, to say that it covers half of reports from the 50s and 60s is absolute rubbish. The United Nations, for a start, has over 100,000 UFO reports on record. Most of them are ground-based. If you've got a plane flying at 60,000 feet, the whole idea of flying at 60,000 feet is you can't be seen from the ground. So the only people that are going to see it are commercial airline pilots, and that's, you know, a percentage, but small.
So why would the CIA come out and say this then? Do you think?
Well, one can only lead speculation.
Yeah, so speculate.
In my opinion, they've been doing this for over 70 years. They've pretty much painted themselves into a corner. They don't really want to let us know that they don't know the full story. I think it's a security thing. It's, you know, again, you know, it's just a case of there may be other agendas beyond that I'm not aware of.
Okay, so give us your theories on the UFOs. Are they space travellers from other planets?
Well, a percentage of them, obviously, you know, if you're talking about UFO sightings, there's a large percentage that can be explained. Of the part that can't, again, speculation is that they are something that doesn't follow the characteristics of what we know. So therefore we're looking at an unknown, obviously. And obviously one of the, if you look at science, there's over 1,000 planets now, exoplanets discovered, quite a few of them Earth-like planets. It's pretty much a given that there is other life in the universe out there. And so the tyranny of distance that we experienced hundreds of years ago is something we overcome, and I'm sure that those more advanced technically than us would be able to overcome that tyranny just as easily as we did.
Interesting stuff.
Fascinating. Are you a UFO believer?
I'm not a disbeliever.
Right. Oh, there you go.
You know, and I would say I'm sort of cynical about things, you know, but I don't know. I don't know. Are you?
Tell us what you think. Logic says there must be somebody else out there, but whether they can get to us, I have no idea.
Whether they like to fly in a saucer.
Yeah. Doug, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And down towards southwestern Utah, we had a very unusual sight. Take a look at this. I showed you another picture from Hurricane earlier in the show. This is that same cloud as viewed from St. George. It looks sort of like a flying saucer here, something from out of this world. This is what we call a lenticular cloud. It's caused when you have stable air that goes up and over a mountain range. That sets the air into a wave pattern like this. So as the air enters a wave crest and reaches the dew point, this cloud begins to form. And then as it descends the wave and warms above the dew point once again, that's when the cloud comes to an end, creating this lens shape that you see here.